Hey guys, welcome back to episode 4.
Hello.
We have been cracking up because we just released our last episode and we went and listened after I just told you I was a woman in STEM and just told you that I fixed the microphones and realized only Olivia's was on. So that will be loading shortly. We will figure it out and we both get a hold mic soon.
Yeah.
But that was fun practice for the last one.
For now, we can share.
Yeah. But today we wanted to talk to you guys about little ways to elevate your life.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Because we are being delusional queens, knowing that we live a life of abundance and ease and a good time. And in order to actually receive that, we have to start acting like it now.
Yes, totally. Something that kind of goes along with that is maybe being grateful for your life now. And so maybe we can kind of touch on gratitude in this episode because I believe that gratitude is the gateway to abundance. Maybe I said that already, but I really do believe that. So finding things that you are grateful for in your life is a really great way to draw in like more abundance. Can be one way to elevate your life.
Yeah. Dr. Joe has this quote where he says, the number one state of receivership is gratitude.
Mm-hmm.
So always being grateful, because if you're grateful and you feel like you've already have it, then you have it.
Yeah.
And oftentimes we're chasing like this idea, or if we have the physical thing, then that will bring us happiness. But, you know, a lot of rich, famous people always say that these material things, like they have all of it and more than they could ever have dreamed of, and they just don't feel good inside.
Yeah.
So making sure that your insides feel good no matter what you have outside of you.
Yeah, not waiting on something external until you feel happy, or like waiting on something else to make you happy. You kind of have to start changing your mindset and becoming happy and becoming grateful first, and then your reality starts to reflect that. So it's been taught kind of backwards, like a lot of us think of it backwards, but really you have to change first in order for your reality to change.
Yeah.
And becoming grateful for what is in your life already is such a cheat code for that and such a hack.
Yeah. You have to believe before you see.
Yeah.
So, and that's like written everywhere. Like that's in the Bible, that's in literally any manifesting 101 type of thing.
Yeah.
So that's everywhere. Yeah. You have to like have the belief in yourself, belief in the situation, belief in others before you ever see it transpire.
Yeah.
So
how else do you elevate?
I elevate by being. So yeah, feeling and being. Okay. Yeah. I want to be abundant. Okay, yeah, I don't have $1 million in the bank account, but how else am I abundant? I bought toothpaste. You know, my toothpaste ran out and I was able to go to the store and get toothpaste.
Yep. We have clean drinking water. We have
a roof over our head.
We have a roof over our head. We have food in the fridge. That is definitely, I would say like we both have been working on our abundance mindset, and that's something that we will, continue, start talking about more and continue talking about as we work on our mindset. Because from my experience, changing your mindset to be more of like an abundance mindset is a little bit of a journey, because again, we've kind of been programmed with certain beliefs, or if you have parents that, maybe struggled when you were growing up, or you have any type of like money beliefs, it takes a little bit of work and practice to change those beliefs. But in what's the truth is, I think that you said it really beautifully, maybe on the first episode, of this world and this universe is abundant. And we are naturally abundant. We're naturally here to create, and there is enough for everyone.
Yeah.
That's something, there is enough for everyone. You going on up, getting money isn't going to take away from anyone else, because this universe there's infinite versions of reality. So there is a version of reality where everyone's winning.
Yeah.
And abundance is not limited.
It's a version where everyone's winning.
Yeah.
So what can we do to like reach that quicker?
Yeah.
Heal ourselves,
literally.
Heal others.
Literally.
And be delusional.
I mean, yeah, this, the world, the world is a mirror. So as you start to heal yourself, other people around you start to heal. The world starts to heal.
Yeah.
At least like that is what I've learned. That's what I believe. And that's what I've experienced truly as I have like healed myself internally, other people around me. And it really does feel like the world around me is healing too.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
I agree. I think we talk about like how upsetting it can be in the world right now because, you know, we have access to social media and we're seeing things globally, which is like a first, you know, we've never before as humans been able to be essentially everywhere at once.
Right. And literally see every tragedy, every horrible thing happening right in real time, constantly.
Yeah. And so we talk about that a lot where it's like, even though we're seeing all the horrible things, which are real,
of course,
you know, we're not trying to diminish any situation. But overall, I think, I don't know like exactly the statistic, but it's like the world is healing or like going in a better place,
direction.
Yeah, than it was like 100, 200, 300 years ago.
Yeah, exactly.
So that gives us a little hope that even though we know what's going on right now, it is a little better and it can continue to get better if, again, we heal ourselves.
Yeah.
Then we're being our best versions of ourselves. And then we don't want to cause harm to anybody else because it doesn't feel good.
It does not feel good. And it feels good when the thought of everyone winning and everyone healing and everyone living a safe life. And I believe that we can get there, you know, eventually. And yeah, like Kayma just said, that's what I kind of forced myself to believe that for a while. And then I realized that there's other people that believe the same thing and teach the same thing of like, I was like, okay, what if this world is going in a good direction? Like it seems, you know, there's the news always talks about so many horrible things. Like we have access to on social media, so many horrible things, which of course, like you said, we're not diminishing that at all. We still need to fight for equality. We still need to fight for people to have access to you know, a good life, right? Like minimum. We are all still needing to do the work to help the world, right? But if it gives you what gave me peace and what gave me a little bit of like not being so anxious and worried all the time was realizing, oh, this world is going in a good direction. There is less violence than there was 200 years ago, technically. We just see it more. We just are, you know, it's visible. We can literally see it all the time. We're, you know, it's on the news, it's on social media, whatever. But ultimately, the world is going in a good direction. And that gives me a lot of peace.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Now we're kind of bouncing all over the place, but
bringing it back to ways we can elevate.
Back. Exactly. Yeah. One thing we recently started doing is putting ourselves in spaces of luxury in a means in which we can afford.
Currently. So it's like going to nice hotels and, you know, maybe you can just order a coffee or something, but like dressing up, looking nice, putting yourself together, putting yourself in spaces of, you know, luxury, of abundance, really like what your environment is so important. That might seem obvious, I don't know, but if anyone doesn't know that, your environment is so important. How you know, what we do is we clean the apartment every night. Like we go to bed with the apartment looking nice or looking clean at least. We do the dishes every night. Like we keep our space clean and we keep our space cute.
Yeah, we do. We will go, when we go out to eat, we will always buy water now.
Like a bottle
we'll buy
of water.
A bottle of water because rich people don't give a fuck. They have like 10 bottles of water and they'll have both regular water and sparkling water. So I'm like, okay, we can afford a $10 bottle of water and it's good for us. It's good for the water to be in the glass and not tapped. So that's like a little change that we do now where we're like, we have money.
Yeah. Like, we'll get a bottle.
Yeah, we're like, we'll get a bottle. Sometimes when we're really crazy, when it runs out,
another bottle. That's a good example of a little elevation.
Yeah, little things. Or like she said, we'll go to like a really nice like hotel and then we'll go like just got like a coffee, which is like $5 or a tea for me.
Right. Or just like one cocktail at the bar or something.
Yeah, a cocktail at the bar. We've been doing that. And so then we also get to like see and show our mind all the other wealthy people around us and like what they're doing. I think something that was like really kind of crazy for me is I flew first class for the first time, and I got on, you know, I sit in my seat and you kind of see the people around you. And in my head, I'm like, oh my gosh, like it's like cream of the crop, rich of the rich who are in first class. No, they're everyday people. And like, I'm like, if they can do it, I can do it.
Yeah.
And I remember I saw like this dad and his like 4 kids all sitting in first class, and he looks like a regular guy. And I'm like, okay, what do you do? Like maybe like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like it became very normalized to me. So I'm like, okay, this is fun.
Yeah. So that's an example of putting yourself in a space. Like if you can, you know, fly first class or just put yourself in spaces where you know that quote unquote rich people are going to be, it literally normalizes it in your brain. You had that one experience and now it's normalized. Like, oh, okay. Yeah. Flying first class isn't that hard. Like
it's not
I could
that
do it
hard.
too.
Yeah, exactly. So just proving to your brain that whatever you want, like you can have too.
Yeah.
Because why not, you know?
Yeah. And if you can't, you know, afford those certain things that we're talking about, even looking at pictures, literally looking at pictures, finding pictures on Pinterest and visualizing yourself in those spaces is really, really effective too. Our subconscious mind doesn't know the difference between real or imagined. So if you are imagining experiences of luxury, if you're imagining living in your mansion, flying on personal jets or private jets or things like that, and that is actually really, really, really powerful too. So don't feel like you can't do anything, even if you can't afford those little things.
You can do things like mind movies. I don't know. Have you heard of mind movies?
Yeah, Joe.
Yeah. Where you kind of just like imagine a scenario happening, and you can like pair it with like a song you really like. So then anytime you hear the song, you like feel inspired to feel that feeling, or just really anything. So yeah, your mind doesn't know and your body doesn't know the difference of like what actually is happening in real time in your 3D versus like what you're making up. So
imagination, such a good tool. Visualization, such a good tool.
Vision boards.
Yeah. We have our vision board.
We have a vision board. We have a huge vision board, like the size of one of these.
Literally one of these.
Just filled with like pictures, sayings, numbers, just like really beautiful stuff for what we're trying to achieve. So
I mean, it really is. It's what you are saturating your mind with, right? Whatever you are constantly looking at, constantly hearing, constantly talking about is going to be impressed into your mind, into your subconscious. So doing something like a vision board where you look at it every day is really, really powerful.
Another pastime of Liv and I's that we love doing is we love driving through like the really nice neighborhoods here. There's a lot in LA, so we have like a lot to choose from, and we literally just like drive through and we're like, yeah, that's my house.
Yeah, I would do that one. Like, no, not that one. This one. We get picky. We're like, no, I don't like that one.
Yeah.
So again, just
because like, and you told me this, all these houses, somebody has to live in them.
No, literally, that's
right. Because like, what are they doing? Just sitting there?
Yes, there's thousands of houses, and I feel like I had that realization when I was looking on Zillow. Something that I like to do is look up tens of millions of dollar worth houses, and imagine myself there, even looking that up and seeing that there are thousands of houses that are above, let's say $5 million that are for sale. That means, and that's only 10% of the houses, right? So there's so many amazing, expensive, abundant houses.
Yeah.
Someone has to live there.
Someone
has to live there. And I'm like, okay, yeah, of course.
It's us.
Why not me? Of course I'm going to live there. Like, it's just one. It's just one of 10,000 houses. Of course, one of those is for me.
Yeah.
And something just about that, looking up houses on Zillow, highly recommend that exercise, because that forced my brain. Because I went to Zillow and literally looked at the top percentage of houses, for 30, 40, $50 million houses. And I literally forced myself to look at that and start to, like, of course, that's still a wild amount of money.
Yeah.
But it somewhat normalized it in my brain because I'm like, okay, well, it's there. Someone has to buy it. Like I had to force my mind, like look at it, have resistance, and be like, okay, just continue looking at it, and be like, okay, well, it's there.
Yeah,
like someone has to live there.
Yeah, we do this thing, and I'm not even sure what dollar amount it cuts off at but we'll be like, if we see something and we feel like it's inexpensive, we'll literally be like, yeah, it's free. Like we actually have to do it. It's free. Like we've been looking at, to elevate this podcast, we've been looking at like podcast studios.
Oh yeah.
And again, there's no dollar amount. It's just a vibe that we have. And Liv was telling me some places, and I was like, oh yeah, we got to do that because it's like free.
It's free. It's not that expensive. I'm like, oh, it's literally free. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing.
Okay, we're not giving you financial advice. It's not financial advice. It's about vibrations.
It's about being delusional.
Yeah.
It's a mindset.
It's a mindset, yes. And once you obtain it, then you have access to everything, and that's what we're getting at. Yes. Again, I know some of the things that I listed off like cost money, and that's not my point. Like Liv was right, where it's like if you can't afford these things right now, we're not saying, go out and get all this debt, but just the vibrations, the embodiment of wealth. Again, wealth is not just money. Wealth is the little everyday things that pile up. Wealth is your health. Wealth is being able to go outside and take a walk and, feel the sun on your face. Like it could be anything. Yeah. Abundance. We're talking about abundance like in the dollar amount, but abundance really means anything.
Yeah.
So
it can be relationships.
Yeah.
Yeah. Truly your health.
Your health.
So important. And it doesn't necessarily have to be money. And it especially can start with other things other than money. If like money is the goal, starting to focus on other ways that you are abundant is a really good and key part of bringing in more money too. Mm-hmm.
I agree.
Other way, back to kind of keeping our space nice and clean. We buy fresh flowers every, couple of weeks or a week or so, however long they last, from Trader Joe's, which, the flowers are less than $10 usually. Yeah. But for me, I love fresh flowers. It always feels like a little treat. It always makes me feel like, makes me feel abundant. So that's like a nice little thing to do.
Yeah. Okay. So let's say you're not feeling abundant. What exercises can we give them? Because I know we touched on the gratitude list, which, again, you should make a gratitude list or a happy note, like Liv calls it, where it's just literally listing off. You could start by like 3 things that you're grateful for.
Yeah.
I'm grateful it was warm today.
Yeah.
Or like I'm grateful I woke up.
Mm-hmm. Grateful for my body, grateful for yummy food.
Yeah.
Grateful that someone gave me a nice little compliment or something like that. It can be, it can really be small things.
It can be small things,
so much to be grateful for, even if, we really have a lot to be grateful for. Another exercise that I do and how I have thought about money and abundance and elevating my life is, in the past, I had been maybe stressed about money and been like always thinking, okay, how am I going to pay for my bills this month? Like, I'm not going to have enough money this month, like whatever. And I literally had to stop and be like, okay, wait, it's always worked out thus far. Like there's been times in the past where I didn't have very much money in the bank or whatever, but I ended up being able to pay my bills somehow. So the universe has been taking care of me in some capacity, and it always has worked out in the past. So that's kind of how I pushed through that feeling of being like, okay, wait, no, I know that everything's going to work out. Even there had been sometimes where I really didn't know how. I was like, okay, I don't really know how I'm going to pay my bills this month, but it ends up always working out. Yeah. So that's something that, you can do if that resonates with you. That's what helped me.
Yeah. I love definitely looking back in the past. And seeing just how perfectly everything aligned, even when I couldn't see it in the moment.
Literally.
And it's like such a fun exercise because the universe ultimately wants you to win.
Yeah.
Like, what's the point of life? What's this game of life if it's not for like something good in the end? So,
yeah, the universe really does always have your back in the end. And that really is such a good exercise to look back and be like, okay, right, everything had to happen the way it had to happen for me to be where I am now.
Yeah.
maybe we touched on that on another episode of like, you can be so upset about something right now, or you wish something went a different way, or maybe you got fired from a job or something where you thought that was the worst thing ever. You thought you wanted something else, but then you look back and you're like, oh, that actually worked out perfectly. Like the universe really does have such a perfect plan.
Yeah.
We just have little baby brains and we can't always see it right now.
Understand it.
We don't know.
Yeah, we don't know. So yeah, the way we elevate our lives is just by doing, even if it's like the smallest little thing, like something to trick our brain that we are abundant. I mean, we are, but like even more, or to like whatever level like we're trying to get. So just doing those little silly things, those little trips, you know.
It goes a long way.
Yeah.
It really goes a long way.
Maybe something you guys can do this week is going to like a nice restaurant of yours, but like maybe going for like happy hour.
Yes.
Driving through a nice neighborhood, picking out your luxury car that you want.
Looking on Zillow.
Yeah, looking on Zillow. Expanding your brain.
Yeah, it really is expanding.
Yeah.
It really is. That's a good point. We should have a whole episode on that because your brain needs to know that it's possible in order for you to think that it's possible for you, right? Like if you never went through if you never realized there's thousands of $1,000,000 houses, then your brain wouldn't go there naturally. Your brain would think that's like so far-fetched. But once you go and see them, you're like, oh, okay, you see someone that looks like you. You're like, oh, okay. They don't look that special. I can do that too.
Yeah. You don't know what you don't know. So I feel like it's kind of our job to teach you that there's many realities
and
opportunities
and ways of abundance. Like something, I mean, maybe on this podcast we'll start talking about the hella bread that we're making, because I know I really appreciate when I'm seeing other creators or people that
kind of
I
be transparent,
look up to, and are transparent about how much money they're making. And it's a lot.
Yeah.
And it really forces me to be like, oh, it's possible. Okay.
We kind of had that with one of our coworkers, I'll call her. But you had told me her pricing for something.
Oh, yeah.
And even that, like, I had to expand my mind in that moment, because when I heard it, I was like, wait, what? She's robbing people. Like, why would she do that? But the thing is, she was getting that money. Like, people are willing to pay to feel better.
Yeah.
Which is why it's really cool that you guys are here, because we get to do this all together at this time, like, for free, and really grow from one another and learn from one another. But anyways, that expanded my mind, because at first I kind of held a judgment towards it and was like, why would she do that? Like, who can access that? But A, so many people can access that. I just at the time didn't know. And B, she should absolutely be in her bag. Like, she's working hard. Yeah. She's twerking.
She's working and twerking.
Yeah. And so that was cool for me, because I was like, okay, I need to put my mind up.
Seeing examples or hearing examples of abundance or of wealth or whatever really is, it's powerful. It
was powerful. Yeah, I needed that.
Yeah.
So
we'll keep talking about it. We'll keep expanding your mind. So thank you so much for tuning in. We will see you on episode 5. This is episode 4.
Yeah.
Thanks for continuing to give us the ratings and reviews. We really appreciate it. Yeah. And if you're here now, you're lucky, because you're going to join us for this ride.
You guys are lucky. But yeah, continue DMing us, texting us, leaving comments, and just letting in feedback. Any feedback, and like letting us know what you want to discuss. We've gotten a couple topics, which we will get to. I think right now we're still just trying to introduce everything. So, but let us know topics and we'll get back to you.
Yes.
Bye.
Thank you much. Love y'all.